So when you log into Notion, you're going to go and create a new page. So when you start, it's untitled, and here we're going to have a content calendar, and we're going to create a table. The first one, this is going to be the title. So this will be your blog post title. And here we have a multi-select, and we're going to rename it status. Calendar. And for this, we're going to do not started, in progress, and completed. Okay. So that created all three of them, and you're going to want to just select one. And here I'm going to say new January blog post. Okay, so we have the table created, we have the title of the new blog post, and we have the status not started. So you see it's very basic in what they give you when you first start using Notion. So now that I created this new January blog post, I have the option to write myself comments, and if you're working with a team, whoever else is logged in and has access to it, they can write a comment, they can add an attachment, you can at a person, or you can add the date with the at sign. I can link to something else. If there's a subpage, like if you were going to reference, like here's the blog post in a separate page, if you want to write it elsewhere, this whole space, you can just start typing here. So you can do like your outline there, or if you're brainstorming, or if you're creating a list of links, you can do it all in here. It's very easy. So for the next step, let's see, we are going to create a multi-select called the step. So which step am I on? So is it a blog post? Is it Facebook if we're doing social media? Twitter, Pinterest. Okay, so we're just going to, so I just created them all. So now these all exist and I can just select them. So this is the first time you're running through, that's fine. So new January blog post, it's not started. It needs to go to in progress because I'm working on it and I'm working on the blog post. Okay. And if you want to, if you have lots of categories on your website, you can do another multi-select, and then let's see, we got fashion, makeup, skincare, 2 words, skincare, home, advice, whatever you need to categorize. It's nice to just look at one database to, they're different colors, so you can kind of see which categories you write the most of. It's a way to look back, easy way to find other similar posts if you're doing link rounding up, to know what you've done already and what's on your website and help get yourself going. So next we're going to do the date, and this will help with the content calendar. So let's say tomorrow, I'm going to work on that today. And then done. Let's do this one. Done, and I want a checkbox. So this one's pretty easy. Okay, so here we have one blog post, and this is just a table view. So now you have the option to add another view. So now I'm going to go to calendar. Oh wait, nope. I'm going to, wait, that's right. Calendar, create. Okay, so now if you go back to the drop down, you have your default view and your calendar view. Okay, so now that this is default, I'm going to do all posts, and that's just going to be everything, no filters. Let's duplicate this and name it February. So once you start like adding things in, it's going to get a lot easier. It's February 1st. Okay, so now we have two. I mean, you can kind of see where this is leading up to. So now we go back to the calendar and scroll down, and then so here's our blog post for January is going tomorrow, and then the February item we created. And now if you click on it, it's the same little page here. So you have access to everything on one page. It's just how you're viewing it in Notion. Okay, and we're going to go back up and create one more view, and it's going to be a table. Yep, a table, and it's going to be called working posts. So we're going to create that, and then we're going to go up here and filter, and we're going to add a new filter where done is or is not. So done is unchecked. So if I click done, it will remove it from my working post. So I am reminding myself that I am done with this assignment for myself for getting the content calendar up there, but it still exists here. So you can always go back to all posts. And that's why I like to do the categories, because once you start building, you're going to see like where, you know, where you're writing more, where you need to pick up on. It's good for, you know, reviewing back. So I really like that. And then like another thing that you could add, another property here is just a checkbox. So like I know that when I write a blog post, it's also going to have a Pinterest pin attached to it. So I just do that as a check. Like here, I added Pinterest. So maybe this one is complete, the blog post is completed, but you need to switch over to Pinterest, you know, and like it's a different category. It's a different, like you're not writing, you're designing the pin. So you need to maybe batch, you know, your content. So another option is to create another table called social media, and you're going to create that as a table, and you're going to just apply a filter. And now this is why we had categories, or not categories, excuse me, what step we're on. And we want step does not contain blog post. So as long as you keep it just blog post and social media, you'll be able to see your items. So this is in the step of Pinterest. And now you know what you need to, you know, like, okay, well, it's not started. But when you have like 5 different things that you need to make a pin for, as long as you're keeping track of it, I mean, this will weed out anything else. So that like would be very helpful going forward. And I know it's like not much right now because these are just empty title. They're just empty pages. But once you start like creating the content, you're going to see how much value it provides you. So all posts is just everything. And then we created a calendar of how we're planning this. I'll go back to all posts. So like we know we want to schedule it for those days. So it kind of just gives you like a good overview. So go to calendar. I mean, so you see like, oh, okay, well, actually, let's do that on the 20th. We can drag and drop. We can move that to February. You can just really start planning. But I mean, even from this view, if you need to say not started, you can do it on there. Or if it's done, you check it. And then if you go back to your working posts, that other you only have two to work on, so because the other ones were checked done. So it's just a reminder for yourself, you know, what you're planning, where you started. If you needed to take a break, it's gonna stop. You know, you can stop and then you can come back. You know, if you're gonna take a week off, it's really good to just come back and know where you are, where you left off. You can write yourself a note and come back to it. It's all contained in this one little post. You know, like header image, um, you know, so like there's a note link to old website, submit content to boss for review. Um, you know, it's not hurting your table, but when you open the page, the notes are there. It's, you know, you can easily delete. So if you're working with other people that are helping you, if you're working on a team, um, you know, you're all working off this one content calendar, and it's really helpful. So I guess I want to know, have you been using Notion? How do you use it? How if this is very basic for you, how can I improve my content calendar? You know, let me know. I'd love some advice. This is just how I've experienced using it. Um, but you can see on my left, I was tracking my job hunt. I was keeping track of interview questions while I was job hunting last year. I've been doing a recipe database. Um, The inbox is a fun one. It's just articles that I wanted to read, so I can just create a list there. Like instead of just opening everything up in a new tab. But that's how I create my content calendar. You know, just let me know in the comments below what works for you. What am I doing that's making my life harder? How can I make your life easier? Other than that, that's how you create a content calendar in Notion. Thanks.